All right, guys, so I was going back and editing this video a little bit, chopping it up, and I went in and looked at Ailil's review. 3.4, guys, this is insane. If you pull this champion, you're thinking he is hot trash, basically. He is not going to be used anywhere for you, but stay tuned. I want to show you some ways to use him outside of the Necrit plus Ailil combo, which, by the way, is insane. Now, he's not going to function necessarily as a champion who just obliterate everybody all the time. You do need good gear for him. Mine has good gear, but you can definitely scale the gear down or up to whatever area in the game you currently are at. Don't be intimidated by the +2 or the 6-star blessing. I'll explain why you don't necessarily need that anyways. The blessing we're using is actually amazing at lower stars as well. But this made me interested and thinking, you know, maybe there's some other very underrated nukers, at least with the in-game ratings. And if so, drop them down below. Who do you use as a nuker who has very poor reviews? And don't say Kale, though I'm curious, what are Kale's in-game reviews? See, what? 4.6. Ailil has a 3.4. What's going on here, guys? All right, let me know down below. Enjoy the video. All right, guys, so I want to showcase today a team that obliterated me right before Live Arena season started. That is a Necrit plus Ailil. Now, the combo is awesome, but that's not going to be the main thing I'm focusing on because I think some people just discredit Ailil if they don't have Necrit. And don't do that because he's still very, very powerful and can still be very, very fast. Now, that team specifically went first before my 456 speed Shuzhen, which I was completely confused as to how that happened. And of course they won because you can see here the big red defeat. But from then on, I wanted to test Ailil, and he ended up becoming basically one of my favorite champions. So why he's going first in that team is his passive boosts his turn meter by 10% whenever they receive a buff. So Necrit places several buffs, Ailil basically being boosted from 270, 260 speed to well over 460, obviously. Very powerful stuff there. But other than that, he brings an A2 skill, which is a lot like George's. It's going to ignore Strengthen, Stone Skin, Increased Defense, Ally Protection, as well as 25% of the target's defense. Also places Stone Skin on him for one turn if it kills somebody, as well as fully healing him. His A3 skill doesn't hit as hard, but it's going to remove Increased Defense, replace it with Decreased Defense, remove Strengthen, replaces it with Weaken, and places a Block Buffs debuff for one turn on enemies not under Increased Defense or Strengthen buffs before attacking. This does not need accuracy because it cannot be resisted. Neither does his A1. His A1, at least on the first hit, after that it's not going to do the same effect, but on the first hit, it's going to steal all the buffs from a target the first time this champion hits him with a skill. This effect cannot be resisted. Each attack after that, no buffs will be stolen, but the damage will be increased by 10% for each buff on the target, which can be a pretty hard-hitting A1 ability. As for the relic, I got Cat's Gaze. We have some accuracy boosting from, or basically damage boosting from accuracy. Not because I'm building with accuracy, just because I happen to have some accuracy, partially from Pinpoint, partially from the Blessing, partially from +2, but all that stuff just adds up to having some accuracy. We have a chance to reset my skills cooldown and boosted damage against targets with full HP, which they should have because he's going to be attacking first. So as for the gear, I went with Savage plus Pinpoint. I think Savage plus Stone Skin can be very powerful as well, though he will be placing Stone Skin very early, and your Stone Skin will fall off the first turn. If you can get Pinpoint to work, I think it's probably one of the best, because this is going to stop him from getting stunned, slept, polymorph from Armons, all that kind of stuff. Very, very powerful there. But if you can't get that for whatever reason, Savage, Merciless, Lethal, things like that, typical defense ignore stuff, are going to be the way to go for him. But I think Pinpoint plus Savage is so far been my favorite, though 9-piece Merciless is something I'm interested in testing out. As for the Blessing, so far Lightning Cage has just been the best for me. Protects that Stone Skin, the Intercept, any other buffs you give him. Very good Blessing. For the Masteries, this is what I have. Basically, relatively normal damage dealer setup with Helm Smasher at the bottom. Life Drinker could be cool, though with the A2 being used, you're going to get plenty of heals, hopefully. So let's jump into some Live Arena. We got 18 minutes left in this window, and hopefully showcase how Ailil can be used with and without Necrit. And hopefully we'll go against some people who are pretty powerful as well. So this first fight, let's try it without Necrit. So no Necrit needed. We're going to go just a speed team. We're going to assume that, actually no, not a speed team. Yeah, speed team this time, no Necrit. And then another fight, I'll go with Necrit. So here we're going to have to go probably 2 boosters. I don't think I have an Arbiter built, unfortunately. Yeah, no Arbiter built, but We can actually pick up Queen of Hearts, maybe. She can kind of sometimes do decent versus Shuzin, but I got a feeling that my Herbaeus is going to be banned. And if she is, I don't want Ailil just left out there with nothing to help him actually go first. Let me check out my Arbiter real quick. Is she built? She is 159 speed. I would consider that not built at all, actually. My two fastest are Shuzin and Herbaeus, so I'm a little bit in a tight spot there. They have Siphi. Let's go Queen of Hearts. Very strong stuff there. And then we'll go Ailil. Now, as for what we ban, I think Siphi's actually, no. Shuzin's going to be the ban, basically. So they don't go first like that super easily. They ban Queen of Hearts. They have to. But what you're going to see here is a 460, we'll call it, Herbaeus boosting. Can she get Ailil to go after her? That's a huge speed gap. He's 270. Did I show his stats? Let me show those after this if I did it. But she's 460. He's 270. That in no world is speed tuned. But look at his turn meter compared to theirs. Just from his two buffs, he's already almost more turn meter. Now, don't get it mistaken. His turn meter is not filling as fast as theirs because he's lower speed. So even though it looks higher, it's not going to be higher. The next turn it's going to drop quite a bit. So here, what we're going to do is we could kill the Siphi, we could kill the Crixia, or we could just go A3 and try to kill them both. Let's do that. We have the increased attack on myself. So there we go. We get the that ability off. And then Siegfried comes in with his A2. Obviously not doing as much. We could swap forms, do all kind of shenanigans, but let's play some Revival and Death on us. So that if they were to maybe, you know, switch form or do that and then do the A2, that he has a chance of getting petrified. Didn't get petrified, unfortunately. But Ailil will be right back. He's just taking a short little break. Of course, Marichka's pretty powerful, but the Ailil did get the first kill, which is pretty impressive. Let's see what his A2 does with no buffs. Boom, 100,000 damage. He is hitting incredibly hard. Now, the cool thing about Lightning Cage in this 5-star blessing, the 6-star blessing I have here, Lightning Cage is actually fine at lower blessings as well. Because Lightning Cage at 5-star is going to have a 75% chance to protect a random buff. 6-star is only giving you extra damage, and of course the extra speed is great, but the extra damage is not that big of a deal. It doesn't really hit for as hard as it seems like it does, but even at 1-star, Lightning Cage has a 50% chance to protect a random buff from being stolen. Now, as far as regenerating Lightning Cages, whenever a champion with 3 Lightning Orb stacks, yeah, I think it's very similar. It's one of the few blessings that's very similar from 1-star to 5-star, and the 6-star gets a different effect, but it's not really that massive. So Lightning Cage is very powerful, and basically if you don't know which one to go Lightning Cage. I haven't found anything that's better. The only thing I would consider possibly would be like Life Harvest, because the idea of getting champions who I already killed to actually, if Lightning Cage wasn't as powerful as it is versus enemy strip champions, I would probably go Life Harvest, because especially at 6-star, you're getting a big turn meter boost. You're getting a big turn meter boost, plus you're reducing their HP. So basically he's getting a turn and then another turn, and then they res again and they just can't. So it's interesting. It could be great. And maybe I'll go that eventually, but just having stuff protected and not being able to be stolen, just like you saw, wait, no, not during this fight. I did a recording before this one and somebody tried to steal my buffs and they couldn't. The last fight did not happen. But hopefully we face somebody who's pretty strong here. I'd love to showcase that. This time, let's go with the Necrit plus Ailil combo. I wish I didn't have Herbaeus here. We'll just do 1 speed booster is all. Actually, let's just get out of this. Let's just let him win. I want to do a fight against somebody who's hopefully a little bit higher in rating. He was going really slow with the picks as well. This guy has a fancy avatar and an OC name. Maybe he's a pretty strong player. Let's see. Last dude, congratulations. You got a free win. There we go. Fast picks. Armand's awesome. We'll go Marichka plus Taras. Though I got to be careful with this, because even with the buffs that he's given to himself, if Necker gets banned, oh dang it. Well, that's unfortunate. We're doing a kind deed and getting a kind deed returned to us. Not really the kind deeds I want right now, honestly. But you can see already that his turn meter was really high. Here we go, C1C. We got level 91, probably a pretty whale-heavy account, hopefully. Hopefully got some big champs coming out. During the season, I had Ailil solo, basically, some teams that you would have been very surprised to see. I had the video recorded, but I don't know if I can find it, actually. Let me see if I can, see if I actually titled it. Nope. No Ailil videos, unfortunately. I had it, I think I ended up deleting it. It's like, nobody really is going to want to see this. Probably not that interested, right? All right, Taras and Marichka start off the fight. Does he stay? Does he leave? Which one happens here? And then we'll go with the Necrit plus Ailil. So you already saw Airbeus. Now, that's Airbeus, but you don't have to have Airbeus. You already saw how much turn meter he had. Imagine that was Arbiter instead. Now, you're going to lose 10% turn meter boost from the extra buff that Airbeus places, but even with just the base boost from Arbiter plus the increased attack, your Ailil's going next. Almost guaranteed. Even if he's much slower and your Arbiter is much slower, it's still going to be fine. So here, I really don't want them to ban Necrit, so I'm going to have to put somebody in here who's going to be even more devastating. Who's that going to be, though? I don't know. Even with Marichka, I don't think I can go faster than them with Marichka. So basically, this kind of spot, it's, well, I have no booster. So Necrit plus Ailil, I have no, like, significant threat either at this current point in time, basically. So, other than Siegfried. Siegfried's a pretty massive threat, actually, to be fair. But people don't typically... Well, I don't actually get him banned that often. Even though he is crazy. I got a feeling Necrit's going to be the ban option, though. But Ailil's a champion who I've come across a few times in the arena. And you can usually tell people are going to set him up if they pick a Necrit or something. I just do not pick Ailil first. Definitely always pick a Necrit first. Because if they ban, or if you get them both through, you want the Necrit to be ahead of Ailil, so his passive activates in the correct order. If you have him behind Ailil, it's not going to work, and it's just not going to function correctly. So here, we're going against a speed team. They have a Lazarius, 6-star Lazarius. They're definitely going to be boosting and trying to go first, but I'm going to go first. It's my turn, actually. If they were 460, 470, he's still going to go first. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buffs, right? We're just going to go this A3 ability. Boom. Yeah, we died there, but, I mean, it's okay, right? He had 5 buffs. Ailil did basically all the work, wiped everybody out, and we're on our merry way. He is so strong. So incredibly strong. He gets so much boosts from this stuff. Did I already use this other reset? Really? I don't really want to pay the gems to go back in the fights, but we'll... Do we do 10? I mean, yeah, I guess we'll do 10. I wasted 100 during the season for just a few fights, but we'll do a few more here, see if we can get some good showcases. But with Necrit plus Ailil, make sure Necrit's always ahead of Ailil, either in the team order with Classic Arena or in the picks and Live Arena. And then try not to, just pick them too early. I don't think there is much of a... Actually, we'll pick them early this time. I don't think there is much of a niche counter pick, is what some people say, or think they are probably. I do think they're more viable strategy earlier picks. I think it's fine, but depending on where you're at in the arena. Whenever I'm pushing season, probably not the best thing to pick early on, but if we pick it early on here, it's going to be okay. Like, I basically guarantee myself to go first. If Ailil is through, which even if he's not, Airbeus is very fast. So if your booster is very fast and you have some tuned champions after that, you're going to guarantee yourself to go first as well. Like, if I was to throw a Commodus in here, they're probably going to ban Airbeus. If I was to throw a Marichka and Taras in here, they're probably going to ban the Marichka. Maybe not, though. Who knows? The cool thing about him is that he's going to be doing that strip, the A2. Of course, Polymorph is something you do have to watch out for with his A3 ability. Okay, so a Siphi plus Shuzin. We're going to go Queen of Hearts plus... Let's, for the sake of mixing it up a little bit, just go a Rotos here. Like, the chances of me going first are still very high. They go UDK, it's okay, I'll just ban him. They really need another damage dealer. Okay, Siegfried. Do I want to deal with Siegfried with Ailil? Not really. If Necrit comes through, it's going to be okay. But you know what? For the video, why not? What's going to happen? What bad is going to happen here? Siegfried's probably going to wipe my whole team, but you never know. Stranger things could happen. To be fair, Rotos is a monster versus Siegfried as well. So ban the Marius, get the turn first. He thinks, he's excited right now. He's thinking, This Tyraka dude, I've seen him fail in the top 100 push in live arena, and I'm about to beat him as well. Speed tune, so fast, but little does he know that this team actually does a lot of work. Now, who do I kill here? I guess I just go for this A3, get the Siegfried to cut in line. Maybe, maybe not. Actually, this is he did cut in line, no block damage. If he procs my Rotos, it's going to be bad news for him. Well, it does proc Rotos, and yeah, then Rotos just pops off. So Rotos is a pretty good counter for Siegfried. Can deal with him very well. Of course, I'm not going to go in and try to kill the Crixia just yet. I mean, he can't really do that much at the moment. He can try to hit the Necrit. He does kill him. Okay. But then Rotos just kills Siegfried. And then Ailil, go get a kill. Ailil, get the kill. Boom! 128 on the A1. It's crazy damage, guys. Crazy damage. So we outsped a team that had no speed aura. Remember that. I was right off the bat 30 speed less than them. Actually, probably over 30 speed less than them. Had no speed aura. Had no boosters. It was just go second. Just purely go second shenanigans. Which, is that always the best idea? No, maybe. Maybe it is. I don't think so, but typically no. But having options like this where you're not going first, like you're not just trying to push your fastest speed gear, but you have other ways to go first, is excellent. Now, of course, if you're going the option with Airbeus, like I mentioned before, it's not as easy to do if you just don't have good speed gear. If you have bad speed gear, it's not a strategy you can force, but if you have really good speed gear, just have a hard time getting your second person tuned, that strategy can be great. So here, we're going to go Taras plus Necrit. Why not, right? Go ahead and go these two. And then the next two champions, I could go a Siegfried, I could go a Commodus even. I could go a Ailil, which is what we're going to go. Could go Airbeus plus Ailil. There's various different things that could go. They do have a Marius. They have a champion who's really good against the shield stuff. Narcisse is a pretty disgusting champion versus Necrit, honestly. Also very good versus the Siegfried, if I was to pick him. But against a Commodus, well, we can lock him out. Could do some things like that. We have no speed aura, so I got a feeling they're just going to ban the... Who do I think they're going to ban? Actually, I need to probably be a little bit more paying attention in this fight. Maybe. I could lock him out. Not really. Don't really have a great option to do that. They may just... That Narcisse is pretty nasty, honestly. Because of my team and the way it's set up, Narcisse counters this very well. The Commodus and the bombs, I was hoping that he was just going to get scared by it, but to be fair, Siegfried's probably the better option there. Though I was kind of wanting to just pick out other stuff besides Siegfried, just not spamming Siegfried every time. With this setup, though, we basically positioned it to where, or he kind of positioned it as well, to where he's very strong versus Necrit shenanigans. But Marichka, she's just going to be annoying for him. So I bet he bans a Marichka. But who knows? Maybe he bans somebody else. Maybe he bans a Necrit because he's like, well, I don't want to deal with the block debuffs. Okay, bans a Taras. Makes sense. Marius hits with the A1 or the AoE skill, and then Taras smacks him super hard with that A2. Or Armand's, but he doesn't know that both those champions are hopefully going to not be around very long. Armand's being the champion I hate the most. Now, the thing with Ailil is even if I do kill someone with this A2, which I should kill the Armands. If I tried, I could probably kill the... I could probably kill both of these. I'm not sure which one I could or couldn't kill. Let's go for the Fabian, actually. We can't be polymorphed on him or him. We could get stun, or the A2, but it's only going to work on Commodus. So we have the intercept. Maybe we get a showcase of that. Steals turn meter, but no stun. This is not going to be as cool. Reduces all my buff durations. We do keep some buffs up. So the intercept is now gone. And that's probably not the champion who I would have done that to, honestly. So remember, we can steal this buff right off of him. That stone skin could be mine if Ailil went for the attack. He did not join in the attack, unfortunately. So now the Necrit, the Marius is going to see what Necrit shields are made of, basically. Okay, he doesn't actually go for anything crazy here. We can go for a big smack on the Armands. Can definitely get something going here. He's already done some of his stuff, but hey, let's give it a shot. Boom! Big hit there. Of course, the Fabian comes in. Is going to get no fear on the Ailil, which is pretty huge, honestly, because that intercept. We go in. Boom. Blast him as well. Remember, she'll die and then bring everyone else back. If he gets a turn, be fantastic. Oh, got sheeped. Polymorph feels bad. We're going to do that just for some extra stuff. And then this is okay from here. Now, of course, Commodus did some good work there, good contributions. But check this out. Boom, 41,000 from Ailil's A1. Loading with some bombs. Of course, getting sheeped back. Was that a wand of submission? Nope, that was just a polymorph. A good old-fashioned polymorph. Now, Ailil. Ailil plus Marichka, Ailil plus Necrit are both very cool combos because both of them can send him in every so often. And if he hasn't stolen a buff from a champion, well, now's his chance, basically. Do another fight, see how this goes. But, yeah, guys, I mean, if you don't have to have Necrit for this combo to work. Let's do some fights with no Necrit. This is a really strong opponent here. I don't think this is going to work against him. We'll give it a shot. We'll start out with the Airbeus. I play this dude a lot in Live Arena. Well, I used to. I haven't played him in a while, but I have played him quite a bit before. So we're going to try to not go Necrit this time, assuming I can remember to not do that. I do have to make sure I have plenty of speed boosters, though, or at least a different threat. If you have Armons, you probably don't need another threat. Armons is a big enough threat as far as the support stuff. Armons plus Marius, they're not banning your Arbiter. But you just got to make sure you're actually going to get a turn with him. So versus Nice, I've actually had Ailil do very well versus Nice. Airbeus is huge versus this team. I would love to get a Rotos through here as well. Taras plus Marichka. Nice. Who counters Nice? Marius. I ain't got Marius, but I do have these two. So the Taras doesn't really counter Nice, but he does deal with Marius pretty well. The horse is not as strong. Not the steadfast steed you might expect. Has the Soul Reap. Okay, we have a Siegfried as well. Let's go ahead and go. So I don't really want to ban the Shuzin, but if I go these next two, he's gonna base. Actually, I could go the UDK plus Ailil. It kind of messes him up. I could go Rotos plus Ailil, which he may just want to ban. He may just throw in a UDK here. I could ban the UDK, but then it's like, okay, if my Airbeus is faster, which she could be, then he could be in trouble, but I don't really think so. I probably just had to ban the UDK still. We'll see, though. I got a feeling a UDK is going to come through. I could have thrown in a Lockout Champion, actually. I just really wanted to try my best to, I don't know, get a bunch of damage dealers apparently shoved into this team. I guess that's what I was doing. Hegemon, interesting. So I don't really want Hegi to be doing anything to me. Rotos can proc his passive. He's probably going to ban the Rotos or the Taras here. Yeah. One of those two for sure. Now, am I faster? My Airbeus is pretty quick. But is she faster? The thing with Shuzin is she just needs one turn. She's one turn and done. She's not empowered or anything. I'm going to say yes, I'm faster. She gets one turn, they boost, it's over basically. And then my whole hopes and dreams, okay, well, they're crushed. They're ruined. Wouldn't have made much difference. But that's surprising. All right, Rotos, time to pop off, buddy. Just go and get you a kill, okay? Boom! Killing the Shuzin. Of course, if you don't get to go first, well, you just don't get a turn. All right, Rotos, come here and do this. Boom! Killing the Siegfried. Let's spam a ton of extra turns until we just destroy this. Rotos Showcase next. Extra turn again. Yeah, let's get all these extra turns when I don't actually need them at all. Let's switch to the Marius this time. Oh my goodness. Extra turn, extra turn, extra turn. Could I actually get through this? Extra turn again? This is crazy. This is crazy, and I love every bit of it. Oh, we don't have no extra turn. Dang. Well, we do have Aspect of Siroth. Can that actually do anything? About to find out. Oh, got the stun. Please, Rotos, get rid of the stun, dude. Boom, boom, boom. Cleanse the stun. Nope, not a chance, but he did survive that. So, Rotos, a monster? Yeah, I think so. But unfortunately, it's not a Rotos showcase. But we did have some good fights there. You guys got a decent showcase of Ailil. Obviously, if I lose the speed race, he's not going to do that much. But when it comes to the positioning of the team with him, if you're using Necrit, let me show you what I'm talking about here. So if we have two champions, Siegfried is currently at 53,000 HP, and Ailil is at 45,000 HP. Now, if I was to put Necrit in this team, behind Ailil is going to be gaining 16,000 HP, basically, which should put him above Siegfried, right? 16,000, yeah, he's like almost 70,000 HP. Relatively tanky champion, I'd say. This will probably go on Siegfried. If it's working the way I expect it to work, it's going to boost Siegfried. Yeah, boost Siegfried. Because Ailil's passive is kicking in before Necrit's is doing the buff. But if I just do one simple thing of switching these two champions' spots to where Necrit is in the first spot, or Necrit's in the first pick in the arena, then it goes to Ailil. So it's something you don't have to worry about tuning your champions to. For me, I was trying to get Ailil to be lower HP than everybody after doing his passive, where basically boosts his attack based on, or boosts his HP based on his attack. But thankfully, it's not the case. You don't have to do that. As long as he's in the correct team order, you're good to go. So basically, all you have to do is just, hey, you have a speed champion. These two champions alone. Now, this is not a good team to go against as an example, but these two alone, boom. Got a little bit of a graphic issues there, it looks like. Let's see. Actually, let's see this, okay? So my Shu Zhen, she is 445 speed. I'm curious, if my Herbaeus boosts, will Ailil go past 455 and break the speed tune, basically? Okay, he doesn't quite do that. I would have been kind of surprised if he did, because that'd be like that's a very tight speed tune. Basically, Herbaeus is 460, somewhere around there, and Shu Zhen being 445. That'd been quite surprising. But who else do I have? Siphi is 379. I know I have some other fast champions, but how fast do I have? So, do I have any other champions at 400? I don't think I have any sitting at above 400 just yet. My Nishak may actually be my next fastest at 364, but that's not really that fast. Fabian is 370 actually. So how does this work? Does she boost? I'm pretty sure she does, right? There's no way she doesn't. Yeah. So that's kind of crazy. He's speed tuned with Herbaeus, but Ailil is boosting past that. Pretty wild stuff, honestly. And then we just go in here and do the lockouts. Bada bing, bada boom. Petrification going up. Taras not quite going to kill me. Pretty close. I'm not going to actually do this fight because it'd be pretty ridiculous, honestly. But as far as Ailil being an awesome champion, I mean, he did some great fights during the live arena season for me. He was definitely doing a lot more than what I would have expected from him. Like, he was putting up some good fights, especially against Odin. Stealing that block damage, and now he has it for 1 or 2 turns, and he can't have it stripped from him because he has Lightning Cage. Taking turns so quickly. I mean, I'm somewhat debating on getting... Lightning Cage is just so strong. Because of him stealing the buffs and stuff not being, like, placing the stone skin on himself, Lightning Cage just becomes so powerful. I don't think I could switch it to anything else, basically. I'm not sure how that debuff was blocked. I didn't have intercept, I don't think. Either way, Lightning Cage is just so strong. But the other one I would consider, and maybe I test it out sometime. You guys can let me know if you have a different opinion. But Harvest, or Life Harvest right here, is going to destroy enemy max HP, fills 30% of this champion's turn meter whenever somebody is revived. So since he's going to be starting the fight with this big, strong hit, basically guaranteeing a kill, if the enemies revive him, boom, he gets an instant 30% turn meter boost. Which is pretty interesting, honestly. 30% turn meter boost just instantly, or a chance of getting your buffs protected. I think this is just the strongest thing, especially with the consistent stone skin. That's just the strongest thing. But the revive thing seems quite tempting as well. Melisandre may actually be pretty fast as well, honestly. Let me see. No, she's just 266. My Morgane. Let's see. 180. I just put some gear on these champions. I guess I took it off of them, maybe for Curse City, and I took it off of them for whatever reason. Oh, no, I did it for Clan Siege a while back. All right, I know what's going on here. But all right, so we're boosting fast. We're going first. You don't have to have a Necrit to do great. But of course, if you throw a Necrit in here, he's going to do great. So Necrit, Ailil, no speed boost, no speed aura. I mean, Ailil's getting massive turn meter boosts. I don't see a world where he's not going first, basically. He's getting nearly 100% turn meter boost. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5 or 6 buffs, 50% turn meter. You do have to build him with some speed, though. You do need speed, you do need attack, you need crit damage, all that kind of good stuff. But you don't have to build him with absolute insane stuff. Now, see, we just yoinked that stone skin right from her. That wouldn't have happened if she had lightning gauge, most likely. We did take it, so now that is all mine. And of course, we're not taking any more turns because they have more speed and all that kind of stuff than us. But we are getting this stuff through. And of course, the Taras tries to hit me. It's not going to do much. We swapped out the Strengthen for Weaken. We actually didn't remove the Strengthen, but we still placed the Weaken. That's cool to know. But anyway, guys, that is the showcase for Ailil. I'll show you guys the build one more time. I'm going to do another video on champions who can do these like go first mechanics without actually being that fast. So if you have a champion you want me to showcase, let me know in the comment section below. I would love to showcase them. Love to talk about them. There's a few champion ideas that I have. I don't want to say them though because I don't want to get them out there too early. And if you have the same idea, let me know. It's no problem. But either way, thank y'all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.